is when you get a lead, who is the first person to contact that lead and how fast do they contact that lead? Hello everybody, welcome to Surge. This week we will talk about top lead generation strategies for 2021. Now, Joe, we do it for ourselves because we need a lot of leads. We want to be active in the industry, in the agency industry, in the e-commerce industry. And we realized in the past few years that one of the first things that we had to do was build our nurture funnels. Mm-hmm. Now, the topic is best lead generation strategies of 2021. But if you don't have the structure ready to generate these leads and nurture and sell to these leads, I can send you 1 million leads and you're going to get 0 sales. So talk to us about nurture funnels. Why is it so important? Why have we been screaming about this for months now?
Well, I mean, I think you just said it. If you don't have this in place, it doesn't matter how many leads you start to generate. If you don't have the right process from when that lead comes in, what SDR is then reaching out, do they then go into a nurture email series that then is going to drip them? Do you have now a second touch point after that from an SDR? Who's scheduling if you have an appointment setter? I mean, if you don't have all of this in place, you're going to lose out on that lead because that lead is not only submitting a form on your business, they just submitted one on 5 others as well. So again, it's really important that you have this in place if you want to truly reap the benefits of the money that you're putting out to generate these leads in the first place. So don't waste your money on lead gen if you do not have nurture funnels in place.
Yep. So the first strategy we could say is building out those nurture funnels. Mm-hmm. And you're going to need some sort of a tool that does this in a dynamic fashion, like maybe an active campaign, mm-hmm. or maybe you have a CRM like Zoho, maybe you have HubSpot, right? Or maybe you're using MailChimp. It doesn't matter. You're going to need some kind of nurture series and you have to set that up. When somebody comes to your site and they say, well, okay, I'm interested on this from you. Are you just doing one touch? Are you just calling them and giving up? Or are you actually continuously providing value to them? The second strategy I would say is lead magnets. Talk to us about this. A lot of B2B businesses don't have lead magnets. Mm-hmm. Why is it so important?
Well, what are you doing to incentivize that end user to give you their information? If you're just telling me, hey, I can grow your business, that's great. Everybody else is telling me the same thing. But now if I tell you, here's a step-by-step checklist on how you can grow your business, I'm listening. I will now give you my information just so I can get that free checklist. That now I enter your nurture funnel and now you can start retargeting me and nurturing me into becoming a potential business. So you have to give a little bit of value to get more value in return. So, and that's pretty much what these lead magnets are. You're offering them value so you can in turn get value from them in return.
So what happens here is if you don't have lead magnets, and if you don't have your nurture funnels, you're going to end up paying over $100, $200, $300 per lead. If you have your nurture funnels and if you have your lead magnets, you are paying for a potential customer, what? Less than $10 to acquire their email. And then they go to your nurture. Remember, as you're sending them emails, as you're providing value to them, that doesn't cost you anything. A cost per click costs you something. But when you send an email to somebody in your list, it doesn't cost you anything. So you're nurturing them. Remember, only 3% of the people who visit your site are ready to do business with you. What do you do with the 97%? Okay. Strategy number 3 is retargeting. A lot of people don't know this. Mm-hmm. If you go to Optimum 7 site, we will never leave you alone. You will see our videos everywhere because we're maniacs when it comes to retargeting. And everybody needs to do the same approach because the billion-dollar companies are doing it. Talk to us about retargeting and why is it so important?
Well, it's extremely important because, again, you need to remain on the forefront of that potential consumer's mind. Especially right now, let's say they come to your site. If they found your site based on, let's say, organic traffic, if they found your site through Google search, for example, that means that that person had the search intent to find your site based off of the services that you provide. Therefore, that's a potential customer. Now, during the consideration period of that consumer journey, you need to make sure that you remain on the forefront of their mind because like I said before, they're not just going to submit a lead form on your site. They're doing it on 5 others. Therefore, they're looking at competitor sites. Are your competitors retargeting them? Because if your competitors are and you aren't, when it comes time to make that purchase decision, the first name that's going to pop up in their head is the one that they have been seeing every single time they open up their phone.
Number 5, it's very important, and we do this and it has done wonders for us, is when you get a lead, who is the first person to contact that lead and how fast do they contact that lead? So we did something actually. Our salespeople would call those leads right away, and we changed that process. Now what happens is I have a VA, a virtual assistant, logs into my email address. Every lead that comes in gets an email from me introducing the salesperson. So an email from the CEO, right? And another thing that's happening is they go to my LinkedIn and they connect with that individual on LinkedIn from my LinkedIn account. So when you send the lead to Optimum 7, within literally a few hours, you're going to get an email from me saying, hey, we're happy to guide you in the right direction. Please meet Brandon. He's one of our sales associates. He'll be able to help you. We look forward to scheduling a time with you. And we give them the Calendly link to book an appointment. Guess what happens? If the email goes out from me, they are 3 times more likely to book an appointment than it goes from the salesperson. So what you could do as the CEO, the owner, the president of your own company is do these CEO touch points, I call them, because they will significantly increase your conversions on the sales side. And Joe, maybe you can talk to the logic about this. Why do you think this is very important?
Well, it lets them know that you're serious about their business, right? A lot of times we work with small, medium-sized business owners that are very skeptical about who they're doing business with. They've been approached by many other sales teams. They've been burned by many other agencies.
Nobody wants to talk to a salesperson.
Right? Nobody wants to talk to a salesperson. I mean, what do you do when you see spam risk on your phone? Yeah. You don't answer, right? So again, having that real touch point coming from a real decision maker within a business puts that potential customer at ease, knowing that this is a serious opportunity for them, that this is a company that will take them serious and that could potentially help them grow.
Yep. And think about it this way. If you were to buy from a company, if you were to sign up to a software, which one are you more likely to sign up to? One that responds where you get a response from a CEO, or where you get a response from a salesperson with the title of account manager or something like that. You are much more likely to say, okay, the CEO is paying attention to me. I'm going to do business with these guys, even psychologically. Number 6 is a must. It's a CRM. We see 10 million, 15 million, 20 million manufacturing companies doing sales on Excel sheets. Mm-hmm. In this day and age, if you don't have a CRM, you are leaving millions of dollars on the table. Please, a CRM does not cost that much money. Yeah. It literally costs like $50 to $100 per seat, per user. Mm-hmm. Get a CRM, integrate with your lead forms. Make sure that everything goes into a database where your salespeople or your sales manager then manages all of that nurture. And it's very important that you do this. And Joe, we went through some pain points migrating to Salesforce. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I would say last but not least, and this is probably more towards the top of this list, content. Right? These videos that you see that we're doing, this is all to help increase our visibility, our leads. This feeds the top of the funnel. This allows us to then retarget based on percentage viewed, based on engagement, shares, clicks. This is what you need to be doing on a monthly basis. If you're not doing this, you're not going to be feeding the top of the funnel effectively. Therefore, what's the point of even having a nurture funnel if you're not feeding it?
Yep. And a lot of business owners, again, think that this is very expensive. Everything that we talked about here, you can do a good job and get the structure ready for just $10,000. $10,000 is not that much money if you're running a legitimate business. $10,000 can then feed the growth of your business for the next 6 to 12 months. So we always say this, we spend a lot of money on our marketing. Don't be cheap with your marketing. Don't be cheap with your structure. Invest in your business. We'll talk to you guys next week.